If you were to make me a list of the worst things to see 2 days before the match, this right here, officer, this.
You don't wait for me, 'cause I keep breathing fire. I won't wait for you, 'cause you keep telling lies. I keep going high, she keep going low. At the end of the day, she's gone. But you don't wait for me, 'cause I keep breathing fire. And you keep telling
Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Outcasts to Icons with me, a man who's excited about what's got to come today, but also excited about the future with it. As always, if you've enjoyed the series up to this point, smash the like button, algorithm, lovely old job. So I thought we'd just start quickly on Jovan Markovic, just to see how he's sort of settled in since he's joined the club. And you could see 6 goals, 2 assists in 13 appearances. Just a solid option for us. We've needed that striker this season. I think we really would have struggled to do what we've done without him, although we did show some quality form right before Christmas. But having Markovic in the team has allowed us to dig out results perhaps that we wouldn't have got earlier in the season, particularly that one against Honved. That was the key for me. And as someone pointed out in the comments, the place his shot and tries first-time shots might well be the key to that, because it seems that he really does take those chances early, often. And if he's placing them as well as doing that, then the combination of those two things does seem to be enabling to do some magic things. Now, obviously, it's not going to legislate for those outrageous volley. I suppose that is taking it first time, but he just does things. So Jovan could well be the star of the season in many ways. Right, we must jump right in, because we have 3 live comps today. We're doing every one we've got. Now, we're in a strong position right now. Technically, goal difference-wise obviously isn't super important, but the game's won is kind of key. We're right in there with Budo Oz and Ferencvaros. I still think that we might not be able to be quite good enough, because I think we have got the propensity to drop points a bit randomly if we're off of our game one day. But all we really have to do is match the results at the moment, and we would potentially get Szeged into Europe as a parting gift. Now, Artiaga picked up a knock in training, and I think he might honestly be out for the rest of the season. It could be that it was a knock that was like, oh yeah, he picked up a knock and he's gone forever, which is about as far from ideal as something can be. But when it comes to bringing someone in, I honestly feel like the right man for the job might well be Albert Stahl, because we've had success with him in the past. We know all about him. He's the man. But everybody else, pretty content to start with that right now. Though I do love the fact that you only get a 1-match ban for a straight red in Hungary, so Cisse's got away with that one this season. 11 goals between Van Dijk and Crespin this year is such a turnaround to what we've had in our centre-back line for the last year and a half at Szeged. I think we scored 1 goal from a corner in 18 months, and now we've got 11 in one season. Obviously, not all from corners, but still, it's nuts. It's what a turnaround. Also, thank you for the sort of advice over the Villarreal situation. So I've decided that they are going to stay as a manageable team in the save. That seems to be the general consensus, and I think that's what I would choose if I had to do a tiebreaker anyway. Now, what I would say is that I think there was some confusion about what the rules for the save actually are. Maybe you joined a bit later and missed the very bit start where I actually explained it. So essentially, real life does matter in the sense that the save isn't just excluding teams that get into Europe and into finals during the save. It also excludes every team who's ever been to a final or won a European trophy before the save started. There's a big spreadsheet in the description, which you'll see, which is regularly updated to keep all of that information in there, as Bosic is already through nearly. In fact, we might still get a chance. So actually that stuff does matter, but as people say, maybe keep the save to a separate reality where it sort of picks up where real life left off at that point. So with that in mind, Villarreal will stay on the list. Now, that doesn't mean we'll end up managing, of course, but it means that it's still a possibility. I wonder who's actually in the Champions League this season in the save. We haven't actually had a look at that. Might have to do that in the job hunt, potentially, in tomorrow's episode. It's going to feel weird to leave Szeged. And I can understand, perhaps, well, maybe you should go for one more season, particularly if you get into Europe. But I feel like Kim, at this point, would probably want to try and test himself at a bigger league. Given some of the job offers that we've had, it makes sense to me that we would go, you know what? We've done well here, but we want to really test ourselves at a higher level, because those are the jobs that were being offered. And I often find those are slightly lower jobs than the ones you could potentially actually get if you apply for them. So I'm excited to see what we can do on that one. Oh, that's poor from him, although he has won it back. Deutsch. Nice. Albert Stahl. Markovic. Can he turn and shoot? Oh, he can. Oh. I think one of the big things as well we changed was bringing Laszlo Deutsch back into the first team as a regular starter. It made a big difference when he came back in compared to Mikhailov. He's got so much better delivery from these wide areas, and it's so useful to be able to put some good balls in, as he does exactly that. And Kovacevic gets on the end of the header. Well, half-time, I'd say so far so good. Relatively solid so far. Might up the tempo a little bit in the second half, start to just drop the possession, perhaps, just try to get forward a little bit more. Crespin, again, has been monstrous. Oh, here we go. Set piece magic time. Ben Salam's ball in, and there's Crespin! I mean, who else would it be? Leandro Crespin. By the way now, that makes him our top scorer this season. Leandro Crespin with 7 goals is now the top scorer for Szeged this season. I don't think I've ever had a centre-back be my top scorer. Just shows you how like spread out the goals are through the rest of the side. Come on, Leandro. That is a massive goal, and I think that it's undoubted for me that Leandro Crespin has been the player of the season at this club. I would not have predicted that when he came in, that he would be as good as he has. I know he's contributed goals, but defensively as well, he's been superb. As Kovacevic and Bosic hits the base of the post. Incredibly, Ferencváros are actually beating MTK. So this win is even more important for us now, based on that alone, in that the gap would actually still remain only 1 point between the two of them. Ben Salem, good block, comes back to him as well. It's very important that we hang on to this win, given what's happening elsewhere. Ferencváros really are clearly desperate to get into Europe, and I don't blame them, really. They probably should be in Europe, as Nunn's shot is well saved. Second attempt is poor. That looks like it's going to do it. It looks like it is going to be Szeged 1, Gizvarda 0, and that's all you need. In a game like this, that's as tight as it's been, we just need a little bit of quality, and we found it from a set piece, which has been the story of our season in many respects, and we will take that. It keeps us in that 4th spot. There we go. And I think Ferencváros won, but it doesn't matter. That was just a really strong performance. I mean, what about that? A 9.1 for Leandro Crespin. Player of the season, surely. So there we have it. Yes, it was 2-1 to Puskás, but most importantly, Ferencváros beating MTK brings the title race quite back into the mix a little bit, but it keeps Ferencváros annoyingly close to us as well, and I think they also share the same number of victories as us. So were we to like draw a game and they won, well, obviously they go above us anyway, wouldn't they? Right, back in a sec. This is not done yet. Out of interest, I just thought I'd go and check and see actually what happened in the finals last season, because I don't think I actually did, and I have something to show you. But firstly, this is this season, so Bayern City, no surprise there. Liverpool beat Atletico, no changes really based on that. Europa League final this year is Lazio versus Everton. Now, of course, Lazio have already won the Champions League in this save, which is mad. And last season, it was Everton and RB Leipzig. So Leipzig, we figured would get off the list very quickly. They may have already been, to be honest. So there you go. It's the Europa League final, which, again, Ludogorets already off the list as well. And Schalke, I don't believe were on it, were available to manage either. It's this. Villarreal won the Europa Conference League last year. There was all that chat. What do we do about Villarreal, boys? Turns out, nothing. We should have done nothing because they've excluded themselves. So there we go. Problem solved, friends. So, today we're away at Mezőkövesdi. And who are our opponents facing, which is more important, really? So, Ferencváros away at the bottom club. I mean, that feels like if they don't win that, they don't deserve nothing. And Budaörs at home against Budapest Honvéd. So, we probably have easily the toughest game here. So, just as well we got that win. Player-wise, I think players did well in the last game. See no reason to make any changes to it as we speak. Very, very happy with the way things went. We won the game, which is what matters the most. Crespin has now moved into the position of the highest average rating of any player in the league. So there's a chance that he could not only win our player of the season, but could potentially be the Hungarian, like, top flight player of the year in his first season as a centre-back in the top flight in Hungary, which would be quite an achievement for the youngster. And I feel like no matter what, he's got a hell of a career ahead of him. It'd be very interesting to track him as we move along, like we do with Christou and people like that. A transfer embargo has also been placed on the club, as we are apparently about to be taken over, potentially, which is always worrying. Less worrying in this save, potentially. Oh, Bosic, great first touch. Has to spread himself. Great finish from Radovoy Bosic. And we lead early through Radagast, the Dark Wizard, or whatever. That's a really important goal. I feel like this was the toughest of the games that we have to come, away at Mezőkövesdi. And to take an early lead like this gives us something massive to hang on to. Who gets the assist here? Is it Kovacevic? Yeah, it is. It's a great touch from him. Lovely ball through the legs there from Bosic, and just goes near post with the sort of toe-poked finish. And we have the lead, and we're on a roll here towards the end of the season. It's great to see. Jurisic, Bosic, Kovacevic, round the side for Markovic. Good chance. Kovacevic again. Oh, Ben Salem, Markovic, one touch, and it's a bit of a tight angle. Yeah, that was always going to be a tough one, but we're cutting through them like butter here. This is a team of confident players. So, Ferencváros have taken the lead in their game. Mazel, ooh, just wide. So they're keeping the pressure on us, if nothing else, but we're doing our part. There we go, 1-0. Again, really strong first half from the lads. Crespin again having a great game, but we've missed a couple of chances here that I hope we don't regret, because remember, we draw here with Ferencváros winning. They would leapfrog us. It's very much looking like a two-horse race going into that final game of the season. It seems that Buda have kind of bottled it. They sit 5 points behind us currently, and 4 behind Ferencváros as well. Vutov, don't foul him here. Come on, sensible play. Klaus, just get your bodies in the way. That's fine. Oh, good tackle. No! What a tip. Joe Walsh just tipping that round the post. That could have been a goal that we may not have recovered from. I'd feel a lot better, though, if we could grab that second goal, and that is just terrible. Onea's through. Nobody's coming across the marking. Please, no! Joe, no! Great save. Great save from Joe Walsh. That was kind of his doing. Oh, here we go. Is it the moment again? Bosic with the ball through. Crespin's header, well saved over the line by Jovan Markovic, and surely that is game, set, and match Mezekazvezdi in terms of them losing the match, not winning. You get my point. 69th minute, great ball in. I think it was Van Dijk that wins the initial header here. Goalkeeper actually stops it brilliantly. Or was it Crespin? No, it was Van Dijk. Comes to Jovan Markovic, and it's a poacher's goal, but it doesn't matter because it's 2-0. Come on! It honestly feels like now that the pressure has been on us for the last few matches, we've actually grown into the pressure and started to really step up when we needed it most. You know, games that we might have struggled in a little bit, we've been phenomenal over the last 2 games. Now, obviously, one more game to go, and there we go, full time. Mezekazvezdi 0, Szeged 2. We've got the back-to-back wins. Another solid performance from the defenders. It's making a huge difference. We definitely deserve the win. Wow, come on. So, here's how it stands. It was 2-0 Ferencváros. The gap is a point. This is going to get tense as all hell. I just don't know who they're playing on the final day. That could make a massive difference. What if it's Újpest? If you were to make me a list of the worst things to see 2 days before the match, this right here, officer. This. So yeah, damaged heel for Jovan Markovic. He's going to miss the final game of the season. That's just wonderful. Oh, to add to the wonderfulness of that, look who they're playing. Where is it? Oh yeah, they're playing Kisvárda, who are already relegated. This is going to be incredibly difficult now, I sense. So, after that terrific news, we're in a bit of a pickle. It's probably our toughest opponent, I would say, although I felt like the away game at Mezekazvezdi would just be a tougher task just because it's away from home. But we have lost to Dios Juri this season already. It's the fact that Ferencváros have a very easy game today. Now, they can still balls it up, of course, but now that we're missing our main goal threat, and let's face it, he has been revolutionary since he's come in. He's really made this team better. That does worry me. Now, I guess the one thing we do have on our side is the simple fact that we do have goals from all over the pitch. Is Arteaga back again? Oh, he is! Okay, well, that's good news. We've got Arteaga back, but Stahl's done okay, actually. That's not really the biggest issue. It's the fact that Grekšo's going to have to play, and he's not super match fit, and he's also Krzysztof Grekšo, a man with 2 goals this season of an XG of like 6. So, it doesn't bode well, but maybe this is the time that he steps up and is an absolute hero for us, isn't he? That's what we have to hope for. Booty onto the bench in place of Markovic. I think that's all we really can do here. Now, what I'd say is, I suppose, us coming 5th this season would certainly not be a disappointment in the grand scheme of things. That, make no mistake about it. It would just be the fact that we were in a great little bit of form towards the end here, in a real shot at actually getting them 4th before as our parting gift. And it now could potentially go all out the window here, but that's pessimism. Let's stay on the positive side here. This is a team that has goals in it from all over the pitch, and if Grekšo can just lead the line comfortably enough to the point where someone else could chip in with a goal, that's fine. So we just need to keep an eye on the Ferencváros goal. I mean, situations like this, Ben Salam, ball in, Van Dijk set up, what a save. What a save. I want to get in front before Ferencváros score, because they will, almost certainly. I just want to make sure that the pressure is on them to have to score, not on us. Because you just don't know what that could do to the players' heads in these positions. Grekšo, round the side for Arteaga. Nice to see him back. Ben Salam. Oh, there was a run through the middle on Cisse's there, though. We're looking strong so far. Ben Salam, even with Grekšo up top. Ball in. Bosic! Yes! Radovoy Bosic, 11 minutes in, and a very, very early goal from big Radovoy does the trick. I mean, he hasn't scored that much this season, but in the last 2 games, he's scored very, very important goals, and we have a very early lead. Once again, the pressure is on Ferencváros. Your move, boys. Ben Salam with the ball in. It's a great cross. Bosic rising highest, and goalkeeper, he's made some good saves. He ain't saving that. And don't worry, we will be looking at the other leagues around, well, that we've managed in the past after this as well. But we've got bigger things to concentrate on right about now. Oh, wow, Budaors had a really struggly end, didn't they, as well? So, Mujakic has scored for Ferencváros. So it looks like they're going to possibly win out from this position, but it doesn't matter, because if we do it as well, Grekšo into the channel. He's got support. Whips it through. Ben Salem. Wow, he should be scoring that. Should be straightforward. Well defended. Right, go on, Krzysztof, on your bike, son. Make that running behind. Bosic. Oh, goes for Kovacevic. Round the side for Krzysztof Grekšo. Can he score? Oh, the keeper, I think, gets a touch to that. 2-0 to Ferencváros. At the moment, it really is just a case of who blinks first. In other news, Mohar has got a goal back for Kisvárda. I worry about those sort of clearances once they start happening. Uh-oh, bad first touch. Bocic, don't let him get through. That's fine. Plenty of space. Oh, no, 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 no! Oh. Kisvárda have equalised. Oh, you bottle jobs. That's phenomenal. I say bottle jobs, they weren't in front, but that is still bloody funny. I mean, I gloat now, but we could easily continue. Hello, what happened here? 62, 63, 64. Pushkas have gone off on one, and it might well have just handed us 4th spot whether we draw or not. Oh, okay. Zukov with a goal back for Ferencváros. Watch us now concede a late one, and it all goes to pits. Good clearance. Well done. Krzysztof Grekšo can bring it away. 90 seconds to kill now, Krzysztof. Just show a bit of speed. Lovely ball on the side for Meerveld, of all people. He's got space. He might get the shot away here. Go Meerveld. It's a good save from the goalkeeper. 10 seconds to go. Walsh will lump this one clear. We just need one decent header from Christoph Gretschow. It doesn't matter. It doesn't come. But Ben Salam brings it down, and we are surely into 4th place. Szeged 1. DS Jury, whatever they're called, I don't even know. 1. Oh, some bottles just fell out the window. That's the Ferencváros bottles going down in the background there. Wow. And again, really good performance from us. Bosic gets us the goal. The defence has carried us through again, but it's not like they've had to do a lot. They've just stayed strong. Come on. I'll be honest with you. End of this season was a lot less stressful than I expected. I figured that, I mean, I guess the fact that Ferencváros, we could have conceded a goal there and would have handed them that 4th spot, in fairness. But the fact that they very nearly screwed it up entirely against Kishvarda. Wow, what a win for Puskás as well. MTK do win the league in the end because they score a wow, that's kind of nuts, actually. So they win it on games 1, but obviously they had a better goal difference anyway. End of the season, you can see Crespin, best average rating. He may well win Player of the Year. 13 clean sheets for Joe Walsh as well. What a god. Just kind of want to see where we would have ranked up in terms of expected goals. So you can see with the 7th highest expected goals for, which is just, yeah, it's not high enough. I think we've overachieved. It's not particularly spectacular either. It's fairly close between all these sides, but we've definitely overperformed what we should have done this season. It definitely feels like that. Although these last few games have really shown the quality that we do have, I'd say. Because according to this, it should be 38 and 38 for us. So we've scored 5 more than we should have done in theory, and we've conceded 6 less. And I think the 6 less conceded is the key. Having those defenders and Joe Walsh, that for me is what's made the difference. Joe Walsh particularly might be responsible for a lot of that, and that's made a massive difference. And I can't believe we've actually come second. Second? I wish. 4th. And at least we get to leave on a really good situation for Szeged. Right, let's check out some of the others. Vilesta in the end came 5th in the MFL Zapadna. So basically, they've just kind of been mediocre ever since we left. They had that one... No, well, they didn't really. They came 3rd, then 6th, then 4th. Obviously, they were relegated from the top flight. They're just sort of chilling. They're back down to being semi-pro as well. I swear they went pro the moment we went to the top flight with them. So, yeah, that's how it goes with them. Not spectacular, but they did build a new stadium, I suppose. I guess they've got that on their side. This is what excites me. This right here. Ermis, 6th in the CETA Championship. Now, as you can see, they're getting absolutely smashed because they are obviously the weakest side in the top 6 set, and they would have lost a lot of games since getting into it. But the fact that they got into it at all is mental. 6th place for Ermis Aradipu. That's actually insane, particularly as Ammonia Aradipu were in the top flight as well, and they've been relegated. Let's have a look at their schedule. I bet it's just red. Hey, they did get a win. They beat Doxa, but as you can see, since the split, which I'm guessing was around about here, they have struggled somewhat, it would be fair to say. So, our run-in was actually pretty solid when you look at it. Like, we only conceded 2 goals at all. Getting that draw against MTK, wow, it just occurred to me that draw and the comeback might well have been the difference. Although I still suspect that even with the draw, or even if we lose that game, we probably do just about get it, but it would be on goal difference? Yeah, it would be on goal difference. But depending on how much we'd lost that game, potentially. Like, we were very, very close. Have we lost that 3-0 instead of coming back? Like, that comeback could have easily gone horribly wrong for us. We could have conceded more. Those points there, really, for me, was the turning point. That's what really did it for us. Getting those points against MTK probably is what's done this here. It's nice to leave them with a huge parting gift of some European football, quite simply. And I'm extremely excited to see where we will rock up next. And to find out exactly where that's going to be, tune in tomorrow for the job hunt. I've grown really attached. It's always difficult in journeyman saves not to grow really attached, and I never think I'm going to find that same attachment at the next club, and then I do. So I'm hoping that will happen again at our new side afterwards. I don't know whether it's going to be a quick one we get in the summer, or whether once again we have to wait, look for the perfect job. But I think we can afford to be picky this time. You've seen the types of clubs that have approached us over the course of the last season. Rostov, Panathinaikos, Royal Antwerp, some teams in the Czech top division. There's definitely jobs out there, and those are just the ones that came to us. What about the ones that we may not be the favourite for, but we could still get our name in the hat? This is damn exciting, and I cannot wait to share it all with you tomorrow, guys. So if you've enjoyed this season, the fact we've actually managed to get 4th, which I'm still kind of pinching myself about, honestly, that's just mad. Then drop a like, that's phenomenal. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, that'd be sick too. I stream on Twitch Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, so you can follow there as well. And I'll join you guys tomorrow for the biggest job hunt we've had in this save. Probably, maybe even ever. In fact, this might be the biggest one we ever do for all I know. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching. Hold your gun. Capybara. Bye-bye.